Welcome to Wednesday, April 24th, 2024. Happy hump day, everybody. Well, trying to get over the hump weather-wise, well, we're going to be warm, but precipitation chances are on the rise. The atmosphere is going to be getting more and more moist, as we'll show you here in a moment, which will lead to off and on chances of spring shower and thunderstorm activity, which we need. Good to see that coming. As we go into the next 4 to 5 days, many of you have some chances to put something in that rain gauge. So showers and thunderstorms will be developing today and tomorrow. You'll see the thunderstorm activity get a little bit more robust today in some areas, then more widespread Thursday through Sunday. Temperatures are going to be pretty mild today and tomorrow, but definitely cooling off Friday and into the upcoming weekend. Yes, we're going to see snow in the high country, but snow levels are likely going to stay fairly high. Rebounding temperatures come back next week, and then we're basically going to have their pattern repeating with another weather system coming in late next week, and it's going to be a similar setup. We'll go back to southwest flow, which will lead to a warm-up, increasing moisture, showers and thunderstorms, and then by next weekend, a cool down. The mid and high-level clouds thickening yesterday, showing the increasing moisture coming across the west. And on the satellite imagery this morning, you can see a couple of swirls. We got a low off the coast of Southern California, another low up here in northwest British Columbia. This is that arch of moisture we showed you yesterday, where late yesterday and last night we did have some showers and thunderstorms, so there's some moisture available here. If we take a look at the water vapor, we can really see the low here off the coast of California, and there's that low there. The orange and the red, this is where the air is really dry, and as you expect over the desert states. But look at all the gray. See the gray? This is where there's this higher water content in the atmosphere. And we're going to be flooding the zone with these two systems here, a Pacific jet nosing in as we get on into the end of the week and the weekend. And we'll see that when we go forward. I'll show you the precipitable water map here in a moment. So today we've got the high. There are the lows right here that are going to be our weather makers. By Friday, we have that low here come across eastward and swing through. So between Thursday and Friday, this low will destabilize the atmosphere, bring in some cooler, moist air, and get showers and thunderstorms going. And this one's going to come in right behind it. This eventually will be the weather maker next week. They just keep coming off the North Pacific. By Saturday afternoon, this is by 6 p.m. Saturday, we've got another low over Colorado swinging on through. So this is a classic May pattern. April-May pattern, the type that you see in the spring. This is where you start to get the pattern that you want to see in terms of bringing more opportunities for needed moisture. If we take a look at the animated map here, this is for precipitable water, the percent of normal, where you see the green and the blue. The water content of the atmosphere that helps generate rain and snow is high. So the white means it's average. Brown is going to show you where the drier areas. The blue and the green shows you where we just have a lot of moisture available. So we're flooding the zone, so to speak, between now and Monday with more water vapor available. So what you need is a lifting mechanism, whether that's a low pressure system causing convergence in the atmosphere to make the air go up, forcing the air up over the mountains and the higher terrain, or the heat of the day causing thermal activity and getting a rising motion of the atmosphere. You put all those three things together, you're going to get precipitation chances. And that's exactly what we see. This is the precipitation forecast through Monday. So you see a lot of blue, a lot of yellow, orange in there, and the green. A lot of areas are going to have some good chances of precipitation. Would love to see more down here. Hopefully we'll get more than the model shows, and I think that's probably the case. It may have to wait a little bit longer for these areas to get the spring moisture they want, but certainly the northern areas, the central Rockies are going to do well. Yesterday we mentioned that the higher mountain areas are likely going to do well. Yep, with snow, and that's exactly what will happen. You can see how cold it gets by Saturday. Temperature anomalies by Saturday show temperatures 5 to 15 degrees below average. This is not terribly cold, but it's going to cool off. Snow levels, though, certainly will be high up in the mountains, but most of the snow stays in the mountains. But if you're going to go over the higher elevations of I-80, I-70, if you're going to go over the mountain passes, you're going to run into some spring snows, really between tomorrow but especially Friday through early Sunday. Little bit of snow on the backside of that first low up here in the Dakotas, but nothing too bad. Going out further, this is by next Friday. We reload. We have more lows coming across the North Pacific with high pressure more towards the Great Lakes and the Midwest. So basically, we're going to repeat the pattern. Southwest flow again. That warms us up, but that increases the humidity. So mid to late next week will be warm, but we'll have afternoon and evening shower and thunderstorm activity. And by next weekend, these lows push in further eastward and will bring in the cooler temperatures again. The Eastern Pacific Oscillation is showing us that the Pacific will continue to be throwing us low pressure systems. This goes all the way out here to the 45-day period for quite a while. Anytime the Eastern Pacific Oscillation is below that 0 point, and if we look at the green line, which is the averaging of all the models, we see a couple of forays into the positive zone, but for the most part, we're at or below that 0 mark. And if we look at the 30-day average of where storms may be, taking a look at the European model, this goes out 30 days trying to predict where the low pressure and high pressure systems are going to be on average. Not any particular day, but you take all 30 days and you put them together. Where you see blue, the model is saying, well, that's where generally speaking low pressures are going to want to be. Where you see the brighter oranges, yellow colors, that's where the high pressures are going to want to be. So this type of configuration right here, if we were to draw the jet stream, it would look just like this. So this is the pattern we're in now. And it's saying it's going to be rather stubborn and want to stick around well into the third week of May. This is good news because this means that this part of the U.S. right here is going to have more chances of getting wet. And you're going to see the collision of air masses at times trigger severe weather in this part of the country, as you'd expect this time of year as well. This is a real classic spring configuration and really one that is good because, at least for the western states, this is going to keep the opportunities for precipitation going into the middle of May. Have yourself a good Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow.